Ladies and gentlemen, I am Lady Lilith, and welcome to Eerie Embers. The Welsh Triangle. Bright lights blazed ominously across the night sky, illuminating the rural tranquility of West Wales with an eerie glow. Flying saucers hovered menacingly above the fields, while towering, faceless humanoids roamed the countryside. These otherworldly occurrences were far removed from the everyday life of Broadhaven's quaint villages. Yet in 1977, this sleepy hamlet and its unsuspecting residents became the epicentre of inexplicable phenomena. Throughout that haunting year, a chilling 450 paranormal incidents were reported to local authorities, witnessed by both wide-eyed children and wary pensioners. This eerie chapter in Welsh history, still echoing through social consciousness today, is not merely about what transpired, but also what it reveals about the social political climate of the era and its impact on the people. Amid the looming dread of nuclear war, escalating global tensions, and the chilling grip of the Cold War, the notion of alien invaders served as a surreal distraction. It diverted anxious minds from the palpable and terrifying threat posed by adversaries in the East, offering a bizarre yet oddly comforting escape from reality. Here is a series of sightings reported by schools and people in North Wales in 1977. Files from the MOD contain a collection of drawings and letters sent to the MOD by children and their teacher from North Wales earlier in the year. These documents, filled with eerie illustrations and earnest descriptions, painted a haunting picture of the strange events witnessed by the youngsters. During the 1970s, Broadhaven gained notoriety as a hotspot for UFO sightings, earning itself the moniker Broadhaven Triangle, reminiscent of the infamous Bermuda Triangle. This designation stemmed from an article in The Sun titled Spaceman Mystery of the Terror Triangle. In February 1977, reports emerged that 14 schoolchildren had witnessed a UFO craft in a field adjacent to their school. When asked by the headmaster to draw what they had seen, the children's sketches eerily mirrored each other in striking detail. One of the most bizarre incidents occurred in April 1977, when there was allegedly a sighting of a 7-foot creature clad in a silver suit late one night. Whether these sightings hold true or not, they undeniably contribute to the intriguing atmosphere of Broadhaven, where the line between reality and the unknown blurs, leaving an enduring mark on local lore and curiosity. On February the 5th, a group of schoolchildren in Broadhaven burst into their school with excited claims of seeing a silver-suited spaceman emerging from a spaceship. Their teacher, unsurprisingly, dismissed their story and continued with the day's lessons as usual. However, upon leaving school, the children insisted they saw the spaceship once more. Frustrated by the adult skepticism, they shared their story with friends, parents, and anyone who would listen, only to be met with disbelief. Feeling ignored and determined to be taken seriously, the next day the children took matters into their own hands. They submitted a petition to the local police, demanding a thorough investigation into the incident. This bold move underscored their conviction and the seriousness in which they believed in what they had witnessed, setting off a chain of events that would further embed the tale of Broadhaven sightings into local folklore and intrigue. The commotion stirred by the children prompted the headmaster to reassess the UFO sightings with greater gravity than initially. He assembled all the children involved in the incident and requested they sketch what they had witnessed. The resulting drawings were remarkably consistent. Each depicted a saucer-shaped UFO adorned with a prominent dome on the top. These uncanny, similar illustrations added a layer of credibility to the children's accounts, compelling even the skeptics to ponder the possibility of something extraordinary occurring in the skies above Broadhaven. This initial sighting marked the beginning of an extraordinary year filled with strange occurrences throughout Wales. As reports continued to surface, a multitude of people came forward claiming to have witnessed UFOs or experienced inexplainable paranormal events. Their unwavering belief captured the attention of many, including investigators from the British Unidentified Flying Objects Research Association, the BUFORA. In the typically serene village, whispers of a UFO quickly spread, earning it the local moniker of the Thing. Suddenly, what was once the tranquil community found itself buzzing with talk of mysterious phenomena, sparking both intrigue and apprehension among its residents. We were playing netball with Mrs. Williams in the yard, and she was demonstrating how to throw the ball into the net when I spotted an object high in the sky. In impeccable handwriting, 10-year-old Gwar Jones recounted her UFO encounter in a letter sent to RAF Valley in North Wales. Her letter, supported by her teacher, arrived alongside a series of drawings depicting an identical flying saucer, all created by her schoolmates. I shouted at the others, and they looked up and saw it, the account continued. It had a black dome on top of a silver cigar-shaped base. It was moving steadily across the sky in a northward direction. We watched it for about 3 minutes, then it passed behind the only cloud in the sky and reappeared about a minute before vanishing completely. Gwar was among 9 youngsters, aged 8 to 11 years, who witnessed the silent object from Rossable School in Anglesey, North Wales, on the afternoon of Wednesday, the 16th of February 1977. Their teacher, Maya Williams, recounted to the Western Mail. It was a bright afternoon and the object was flying very high towards Bull Bay. I brought the children back into school, separated them, and instructed them to draw what they had seen. It was quite astonishing. The drawings were all remarkably similar. I had never believed in these things until I witnessed this myself. These remarkable accounts were among the dozens that reached the MOD's UFO desk, S4, Air, in 1977. A covering note from RAF Valley succinctly stated, "We can offer no positive explanation or identification," underscoring the perplexing nature of the reported phenomena and leaving the mysteries surrounding these events unresolved. Seen in isolation, this story might seem like one of the 435 sightings recorded by the British government half a century ago. However, with the benefit of hindsight, it emerges as part of a previously overlooked cluster of eerily similar experiences reported by small groups of unrelated schoolchildren within a span of 6 months. In early February, groups of children from 3 Welsh primary schools reported UFO sightings. However, it was only the account of Broadhaven Primary School that garnered widespread media coverage. The young witnesses were interviewed live on national television at the scene, catapulting their extraordinary experience into the spotlight of public curiosity and intrigue. In this instance, a group of 15 children, predominantly 10-year-old boys, witnessed a shiny, cigar-shaped UFO on the ground, not in the sky, but in fields behind their school during their lunch break on Friday the 4th of February 1977. It was a rainy afternoon, and the boys were engrossed in a game of football when someone among them pointed out to the object, partly concealed by the trees and shrubbery. According to 2 boys of the group, the elongated object sported a silver dome with a flashing light on top. However, the account took a chilling turn when 6 of the boys claimed they also saw a tall man clad in a silver spacesuit standing next to the UFO. Clearly shaken by the encounter, the children hurried back to school, but their story was initially met with disbelief from the adults. After school dismissed for the day, groups of youngsters ventured out for some UFO spotting. Later, bolstered by their parents' support because of their adamancy, they made a collective visit to the local police station to report what they had seen, determined to be taken seriously despite the skepticism they initially faced. The drawings created by the children were sent to the Ministry of Defence, and today the original artworks are carefully preserved in a scrapbook at the school. The archive also contains the contemporaneous entry from the school diary, penned in the third person by the head teacher, Ralph Llewellyn, who unexpectedly found himself at the centre of a media frenzy. The diary entry details how he diligently interviewed each of the 15 children individually on Monday, February the 7th, carefully reviewing their drawings and notes to piece together the unsettling events they had witnessed. Their drawings, though independently created, were often noted as remarkably similar, despite the fact that these sketches were produced 3 days after the initial sighting, giving the children an entire weekend to discuss their experiences. Mr. Llewellyn reached the conclusion that they were speaking truthfully. After allowing for variations and embellishments, the head teacher is reluctant to believe that the children orchestrated a sustained and sophisticated hoax. He is inclined to accept that they genuinely saw something unfamiliar. While he personally explores the natural explanations on the incident, he remains open-minded on the subject. The statement concluded. Another story report was that of the Coombs family, employed at Ripperston Farm, found themselves deeply affected by a series of extraordinary events. Their encounters began with sightings of UFOs while driving, followed by the unsettling appearance of a 7-foot-tall figure in a silver suit with a black visor outside their window. These sightings were just the beginning of a cascade of strange occurrences. Their daily lives were plagued by constant mechanical disturbances. The car and television repeatedly malfunctioned and had to be replaced multiple times. The disruptions extended beyond their possessions. They also reported bizarre phenomena involving their livestock. The Coombs were bewildered when they observed their cows seemingly teleporting from one field to another without any explanation. These incidents profoundly impacted the Coombs family, leaving them grappling with the inexplicable and the prompting questions about the nature of reality and their place within it. There was also one of the most famous incidents that unfolded around Haven Fort Hotel in Little Haven. Mrs. Rose Granville, the hotel owner, recounted a startling encounter. She claims to have witnessed a saucer-shaped UFO hovering outside her hotel window. From this otherworldly craft emerged strange humanoid figures dressed in whitish boiler suits. These beings moved about purposely, as if collecting something from their surroundings. Intrigued and eager to share her discovery, Mrs. Granville hurried to fetch the other hotel residents to witness the spectacle. However, upon her return, the UFO and its enigmatic occupants had vanished without a trace. All that remained were scorch marks on the ground, marking the spot where the craft had purportedly landed. This eerie incident left Mrs. Granville and the witnesses with a profound sense of wonder and mystery, pondering the extraordinary events they had just experienced. Distressed by her unsettling encounter, Mrs. Rose Granville took action by writing a letter to her Member of Parliament. Prompted by her concerns, the MP swiftly forwarded her request to the Ministry of Defence for investigation. Subsequently, Mrs. Granville found herself receiving a visit from an RAF officer, who attentively listened to her detailed account of the UFO sighting and the peculiar humanoid figures. The RAF officer, in turn, expressed his own bewilderment and inability to provide a conventional explanation for the strange events described by Mrs. Granville. The visit underscored the seriousness in which the authorities approached such reports during that period, leaving Mrs. Granville and those involved in the investigation with lingering questions about the nature of what they had just witnessed. Some skeptics have argued the entire Broadhaven UFO phenomenon was orchestrated by hoaxers. They pointed out that silver suits resembling those described by eyewitnesses were used at a nearby oil refinery, suggesting a possible source for the sightings. It's a common occurrence in cases of persistent UFO activity for hoaxers to become involved, as local individuals see it as an opportunity for amusement. In the Welsh Triangle flap, this pattern repeated itself. Indeed, some individuals responsible for the hoaxes have since admitted their actions publicly. However, the temptation to dismiss all incidents as hoaxes, based on a few fake ones, overlooks the complexity of the situation. It's challenging to explain all the reported flying objects solely through fakery, especially considering the diversity and the consistency of the sightings in the Broadhaven area. This complexity suggests that while some of the incidents may have been staged, they cannot account for the entirety of the mysterious events that occurred during that period. The Broadhaven UFO flap remains one of the most significant in British history. The peculiar events that unfolded there captured the attention of journalists and researchers across the country, but they have never been satisfactorily explained. Locals reported sightings of strange and mysterious objects in the sky on a daily basis, and some adamant that they had encountered the beings from another planet face to face. Despite the tantalising possibility of extraterrestrial life, the prevailing concern during the Broadhaven UFO sightings was the threat of earthly invaders. The spectre of nuclear annihilation loomed large, casting a shadow of fear over global politics. In this tense Cold War era, the sight of strange lights and unfamiliar aircraft in the sky often invoked fears of an Eastern threat, rather than one of a supernatural origin. The phenomena observed were filtered through the lens of geopolitical tensions, underscoring how perceptions of the unknown were shaped by the anxieties of the time. In an atmosphere of widespread distrust amongst government institutions, military intelligence became shrouded in layers of conspiracy, deepening societal divisions. This skepticism laid the groundwork for speculation and debate among the populace. Amidst the fear and anxiety of the Cold War era, there was also a sense of solace in contemplating the vastness of the universe. The existence of UFOs suggested that humanity was not alone, and that other civilizations might have achieved advanced levels of development. This perspective offered reassurance that even in the event of nuclear war and potential devastation on Earth, it might not mean the end of life as a whole. The notion of space travel further fueled hope, with its limitless possibilities expanding the horizons of human imagination. Yet the juxtaposition of aliens as both potential threat and a beacon of hope underscores the complex range of emotions humanity experienced in the face of existential uncertainties. It reflects how people grappled with the dual realities of impending peril and the boundless potential for exploration and discovery in the cosmos. Offering a respite from the enduring political unrest, the Broadhaven phenomenon swiftly garnered global attention. It was broadcasted across numerous news channels, prompting journalists and television crews to converge on the coastal town to conduct thorough investigations. Among those captivated by the events was Randall Jones Purr, a local ufologist and a member of the BUFORA. He played a crucial role in elevating the story to an international media, personally conducting interviews with eyewitnesses and actively engaging with various news outlets. While each individual encounter might have been dismissed on its own, collectively they formed a compelling narrative, depicting West Wales as a focal point of supernatural phenomena. It wasn't long before Fleet Street, the heart of British journalism, picked up on the case, leading to widespread and sustained interest in the unfolding events. Such was the fascination that the local hotel began hosting UFO spotting weekends. Gwestry's Sir Benfro, situated near St Bride's Bay, promoted these specialist expeditions in an article featured in the Bristol Evening Post in September 1977. Randall, among other fellow members of the BUFORA, regularly attended these UFO spotting weekends, providing their expertise to enthusiastic newcomers. Even today, public interest remains significant. Gareth Lewis, the current headmaster of Broadhaven Primary School, reports that the school still receives multiple inquiries each year from individuals captivated by the case. Whether or not UFOs exist in the traditional sense, the subject undeniably holds a place in Wales' cultural history, resonating deeply within social consciousness. This phenomenon contributes to the rich tradition of storytelling and illustrating how legends evolve to reflect changing perspectives and beliefs over time. Thank you for listening.